Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. I'd like to say double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the brothers across this globe trying to push this truth and sincerity. And I hope this is edifying to the elect. Okay, I want to start out in Revelation chapter 7 and verse 9. And it says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb." See, the Christians would have you believe that when it says a great multitude which no man could number of all nations, that means that all people, all kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne. They would like to have you believe that means that everybody on earth that believes. And this is not a true statement according to the Bible. I mean, that's why they don't want you to read the Old Testament, nor do they want you to read the Apocrypha. We have this same account in Second Esdras chapter 2 and verse 40. We're going to start with okay, let's start with Second Esdras 2 and 40. "Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, that have fulfilled the law of Yahweh. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of Yahweh, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praise Yahweh with songs. And in the midst of them was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then I said unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, thy power hath thou hast seen. Okay, this is the same exact account that was in Revelation 9, but it says thy people. And who are the Lord's people? Everybody, or Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? But that being said, let's go back to another account. Well, this is really where this all stems from. If you go back to Deuteronomy 30 and 1, it'll explain to you who these people are that are out of every nation and tongue and a great multitude. Is Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither Yahweh thy God, thy power have driven thee. So let's look up this word have driven. This is nakach, nadchach. It means root, to push off, used in a great variety of applications, literally, figuratively, to expel, mislead, strike, inflict, banish, bring, cast down, chase, compel, draw away, drive away, out. Okay, here it goes. To impel, to thrust away, banish. Okay, so the Lord said that he was going to what? He says, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee, banished you to go into, and shall return unto, and shalt return unto Yahweh thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thine soul, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have scattered thee. Let's look up this have scattered as well. Pawatazah, to scatter, to disperse, be scattered, to be dispersed, to be scattered, to be spread abroad. So let's read that again. Then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will turn and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have scattered thee. So the Lord said that he would scatter the nations, or he would scatter his people into every nation, and then he would draw them out of every nation. Okay, so when we go to Revelation 7 and 9, it says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindred, a people and tongue, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Deuteronomy 30 and 2, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have scattered thee. And if any of thine be driven out unto the outermost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. So the Lord said that he would scatter his people into every nation, but then he would gather them. So when he scattered them into every nation, they would be looking like every nation. They wouldn't be looking like your traditional Israelite. They would be looking like all the nations of the world. That's why in Revelation 7 and 9, that's why he said, out of all nations and kindred and people and tongues, because the Lord's people, the Hebrew Israelites, will be scattered into every nation. Well, that's just a quick lesson on you have to read the whole book. You can't start in the end of the book and think that you can understand what's going on. But that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying. Like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. This is your brother, Yakar Alvin from Great Millstone, Houston. Shalom.